MCToon confronts a flat earth liar. Two creators reach huge milestones. The world mourns a pioneer of space exploration. And my final thoughts on the Shawn Hufford situation. Those stories and more as the plot thickens. Today's show is brought to you by channel members and patrons alike. To contribute to this show, hit that join button or head over to www.patreon.com/theplothole1. That's the number one, not the loneliest number you can ever do. Rack focus. Good afternoon, everyone. Johnny O from the Plot Hole. Let's get into today's stories. YouTube content creator MCToon invited YouTube troglodyte Nathan Thompson onto his show in order to properly explain what electromagnetic wake is.
All right, so Nathan, you got the link. Let's have it.
I want to talk to you.
I got dibs.
Oh yeah, no.
Because he's going to come on. Oh, there it is. He's going to come on and he's going to talk about electromagnetic wake. That is the topic.
Yeah.
So he is here and he's going to talk about electromagnetic wake. So,
Has he still not clarified that?
I'm not. No, but he's in the hot tub with a dude.
Of course, Thompson couldn't explain the concept of honesty, let alone the concept of electromagnetic wake. MCToon took offense to the many lies put forth by Thompson, and he called him out on it.
That's what you do. You lie, and you lie, and you lie. That is your life, Nathan. Your life is
Ms. McToon,
lies.
Little fruit fly in my beard, bro. You just sent me a link to join your channel, interrupted every time I spoke.
Expose your lies. That's all you do, Nathan.
Story.
It's just lies.
Thanks.
Your entire life is lies. That's all you have.
You guys hear this guy monologuing, bro, to the audience? Like, oh, you're just a liar, bro. You're a liar.
So you have, but it's because I have exposed that you have nothing, Nathan.
Not that I have nothing. I tried to explain it. You interrupted me.
No,
every time.
you failed to explain it. You made up some stuff that you don't
You
understand.
actually conceded the sun moves through the atmosphere. And
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I said it affects particles. Absolutely, it affects particles.
Okay,
But
cool. Well, that's my argument.
But the sun.
Max.
But you said electromagnetic wake.
Fucking
Electromagnetic
dumbass, dude.
wake.
You just conceded my whole argument, McToon.
No,
You're a fucking dumbass.
You didn't support anything about electromagnetic wake. You don't even know what that is. It's like over your head.
I applaud MCToon for continuing to call out dishonesty when he sees it. Nathan Thompson is a toxic member to his own community. So in our community, he's annoying at best, downright criminal at worst. For more verifiable science, be sure to tune in to MCToon's channel. I'll leave a link in the description. The science debunker community was treated to a gift that keeps on giving. And Jerry Williams, aka GreaterSapien, took a huge bite. Okay.
So there it is. The Earth from outer space.
Are we sure? Maybe it's an eyeball that will blink and we'll be like,
this is a real live recording?
Actually, don't have an opinion
How
on it at
about
all.
now? Does this make it more believable?
Still, no opinion.
Ask yourself.
Is this
Hey,
real?
dude, you got some reverb on your speaker there, dude.
Let's try this another way.
Ew. Is anybody else creeped out by the way he said that? Starring obsessive denial disorder, halitosis, someone I never heard of and needs to come to terms with being bald, time travel from the 1970s. Is that a meerkat? Eddie makes me think getting choked out damages brain cells. Bravo. And someone I can picture having a drawer full of locks of hair with a clip from an anti-Jewish rant video. Okay, you know I like my grandiose intros, but doesn't this feel like it's, compensating for something? Logic.
No one promoting this bull stands for truth.
Oh, that should be the subtitle of your video. Level. No one
93
promoting
million
this
miles
BS
away.
stands for truth.
I love the Mystery Science Theater 3000 style on this one. Now, GreaterSapien has been on a quest to debunk all 200 of Eric Dubé's proofs that the Earth isn't a spinning ball. Seeing how this film, Level, is only a revitalized version of Eric Dubé's 200 proofs, should Jerry Williams continue to subject his mental health to Dubé's just ridiculous claims? Leave me a comment down in the comments section with your thoughts. Jerry, we're with you on this one, man. Apollo 11 flight module pilot Michael Collins passed away recently after a long battle with cancer. Born October 31st, 1930, Collins served 30 years in the United States Air Force, earning the rank of Major General. After serving as a fighter and test pilot for the Air Force, Michael Collins' most significant achievement was piloting the module that landed astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin on the surface of the moon for the world's first moonwalk. Collins previously had piloted the Gemini 10 mission. After his NASA career, Collins served as Assistant Secretary of State for Public Affairs, Director of the National Air and Space Museum, earned a degree from Harvard, became Vice President of LTV Aerospace in Arlington, Virginia, and wrote several books, including his autobiography, Carrying the Fire, An Astronaut's Journey. Collins was 90. We'll be right back. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Are you enjoying the show? Of course you are. Then why haven't you clicked that like button? Go on, click it. Have you subscribed? No? Well, what are you waiting for? Be sure to tickle that bell too, that way you get notified every time a new video comes out. While you're here, check out all the membership options, the merch store, PayPal links, all that is in the description box. Can't afford any of that? That's okay. A simple like, share, and subscribe is all the support I need, and it's greatly appreciated. Remember, if you build it, they will come. Before we get into today's last segment, I want to reach out and give my congratulations to two awesome YouTube content creators.
I'm a sovereign citizen, dude. What's happening, guys? I'm a sovereign citizen from Naperville. I know all about the gold fringe and how fraudulent it is.
They hit me with a really strong dose of OC spray.
I want to speak to you, dead soldier, now! I know the laws, buddy, and I'm waiting for you to do something wrong so I can sue your department.
I pay for that uniform, I pay for that car, I'm the taxpayer, right?
Hi, folks. It's time for another members contest. The Hawaiian archipelago is made up of about 132 islands. The first member who can name the 8 major islands gets $50. Remember, you have to be a channel member and you have to use the email address that's in the description box, sc.contests42@gmail.com.
Schrodinger's cat recently passed 70,000 subscribers and is rapidly approaching 80,000.
Like us Brits, Americans pay taxes, which go to a variety of services, including police departments, but that doesn't give us authority over them, much like other taxpayer dollars or pounds, if you're in the UK, go to subsidise many other professions, like the medical profession. Yet we don't see these First Amendment frauditors or Karens yelling at surgeons or nurses. No, actually, Karens do that, don't they? I said do. But the frauditors don't, do they?
That's probably one of the best Creaky Blinder quotes that I've ever seen on the internet. Creaky reached 50,000 subscribers this past week, and he has aspirations for more. Congratulations to both Schrodinger's cat and the Creaky Blinder. I'm sure this won't be the last time we mention those names on this channel.
Welcome to Week in Horror.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
The only podcast that will feed your horror need.
The need to feed.
With JL.
Yeah, I'm a fucking masochist. I'll watch that shit.
Eugene.
Somebody has to be the sex symbol. I'm sorry.
Alex.
Shit, I just demonetized this forever.
And Johnny O.
How do you like that shit? Got halfway through the monologue before unmuting myself. Golly, it's one of them fucking days.
With industry guests.
Hi, this is Richard Oakes, Director of Host.
Hey, this is Adam Leader, Director of Host.
This is Matthew Mark Hunter.
I'm Donna Nelly. And you're listening to Week in Horror.
And you're listening to Week in Horror.
And this is Week in Horror.
And you're listening to Week in Horror.
Welcome to prime time, bitch!
News, trivia, and more.
One by one, we will take you.
Join our live show Wednesdays at 7 Central, youtube.com/weekinhorror, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Week in Horror. Stay scared.
In today's final story, I take one final follow-up on the Shawn Hufford story. First, a quick recap. Now, for those who are new to this story, we had Shawn Hufford come to the community about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, looking for $10,000 via a fundraiser held on Red's Rhetoric's channel. Now, Hufford claimed that he needed $10,000 in order to buy out the remaining 10 months on his lease, move his ex to Georgia, and get himself to Florida, where he supposedly had a job. These are his claims, not mine. So put down your pitchforks. Now, Hufford claims that the fundraiser didn't reach the money needed to achieve these goals. However, Hufford still claimed that he paid the 10 months lease in order to buy out that contract with his landlord. Now, he did move, but he didn't move to Florida. He moved instead to New Jersey in with his future partner, Cy Strickling. After several months of defending himself, Shawn Hufford's lies were finally brought to light. In a live stream, Team Skeptic called out Hufford and Red's Rhetoric for scamming the community. After this stream, I contacted several members who were involved with this fundraiser in order to get some background information. Team Skeptic and Negative Exponents provided me with several pieces of information, such as his lease agreement, the eviction on his record, and the court case filed against him. After reviewing these documents, many holes in Hufford's story presented themselves. Hufford's timeline didn't add up, and the fact that he had an eviction on his record proved to be the final nail in that coffin. Negative Exponents and Team Skeptic both worked in the background in order to secure the documents that proved that the reason why the eviction was filed was due to non-rent payment. When presented with this final piece of evidence, Shawn Hufford came clean to Team Skeptic and agreed to appear on the plot hole for a live interview. During this interview, Hufford continued to evade, diminish, and mislead from the truth. Several claims turned out to be false. Now, for a full breakdown, see Nate the Lawyer's breakdown video of Shawn Hufford's claims. But for the highlights, Hufford claimed that he had 10 months left on his lease. Now, this is one of those gray area ones, whereas the current lease in which he was living at the time that he had this live stream did end in 10 days. However, he did sign a lease extension on the 26th of June. I mean, that could almost be forgiven, seeing as how, yes, he had that signed lease, but that would have left 12 months on it, not 10. And again, this is at the time of the fundraiser. Regardless of whether Hufford had 10 days, 10 months, or 12 months, or 10 years, Hufford had a buyout clause in his lease. He could have paid $1,500 in order to break that lease, move in to Florida with Red's Rhetoric to get his job, whatever. Hufford claims that he didn't know about this $1,500 buyout, even though his signature is on the page acknowledging that he read this portion of his lease. Now, whether he did or didn't is regardless to the fact that is irresponsible at best, negligent, downright fraudulent at worst. Now, Hufford states that he spent the bulk of the funds on a few months of rent, a plane ticket to go see Cy Strickling in New Jersey, and Grubhub. Hufford claims that the Grubhub deliveries were necessary because the closest supermarket to him was 3 miles away. A claim that turned out to be false. There was a grocery store not but a few blocks from his front door. All this to say that the fundraiser funds weren't spent in the way that the donors were told it was going to be spent, nor were they spent in the way that Shawn Hufford claimed several times over and over that they were spent. Hufford flat out lied to the community. That much is obvious. That much he's admitted to. At best, Shawn Hufford misappropriated those funds. At worst, well, you've seen the evidence. Now, I contacted the Indiana Office of the Attorney General, and I asked, now of course I didn't give specific information, but I gave them a roundabout scenario very similar to the Shawn Hufford situation and asked if they would prosecute that or if they would prosecute that as fraud. They have yet to respond. However, I've seen several cases that are currently filed that are similar in nature to Shawn Hufford's. That being said, this is where I leave this story. Now, there's nothing left to do except see a community that has been torn by deception figure out how to move forward. Now, many people say that the infighting has done irreparable damage to the debunker community. I beg to differ. I see this as a means of people who saw something that was going on that shouldn't have gone on, calling it out and holding those responsible accountable for their actions. Now, there are those who say that Shawn Hufford didn't do anything wrong. He took this money that was given to him in order to better his living situation and did exactly that with it. And there are those who don't. This should be discussed. There are a lot of people who are put off by fundraising activities. I myself am one of them. Now, there are many different ways that we can move on. There are many different ways that we can still hold fundraisers for legitimate causes and do it properly. Transparency, so many different ways. Having these discussions is the only way that helps build and make a better community. And that's today's news. Be sure to join me tomorrow night, 8:30 Central, as Nate the lawyer and I discuss how we can move on and build a stronger community. As always, I'm Johnny O, and I'll keep you updated as the plot thickens.